Hey everybody, isn't Claude Shires wonderful? He's a really good friend of mine. I brought him here because I love him.
I love you guys. I
love working with him.
You guys are awesome.
Les McCurdy, ladies and gentlemen, isn't he a lovable? Oh my God, what would Tamiami Trail be without Les McCurdy? Oh my God, would hate to think about it.
We'll share.
You know, he makes little lunches for the prostitutes that walk up and down sometimes.
I do. That's how it's how I give back.
It's just, you're a good, loving man of the community.
It's how I give back to the community. And I tell you what, when you get a good hard look at the prostitutes that walk up and down this thing, I go, don't hassle those people. If someone actually wants to have sex with that woman, God bless them. God bless them. Claude came to us basically because you guys were friends, right?
Yeah, and I requested. Claude's working on. He's doing a half-hour Showtime special, and he wants to work on it. And we've worked together loads of times. And I rarely request acts to come with me, but I've gotten Claude a lot of work with me because I love him. He's one of my best friends, and he's funny as hell.
Now, Claude, I did this with all the comics first time.
My mom thinks I'm cool, and she's here actually. Give it up for my mom.
Claude's mom is here,
yes.
ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen.
that's right, your whole family's
Yeah.
back there. And Tom's wife's here too, Austin's here. Hey, I love bringing a comic in that fills up the audience with their family. You know, I ain't buying them drinks. Okay. Tell us just a little bit about your family, how you grew up and where you grew up.
Well, I'm a Cancer and I love
Thank you.
dancing. I actually
Turn off, moody people.
Yeah, exactly. I grew up in Tampa, you know, and you know, I actually have 7 brothers and sisters, and I'm an adopted stepfather who's basically raised us. Fantastic. And you know, I mean, I came from a split family, but the thing is, I always, you know, thank you very much. I do bring my own audience to the show. That's how I do it. Well, you can never fail. Listen, you guys are good. I got your $50 each after the show. It's going to be awesome. But no, I grew up in Tampa. You know, I was never good at sports. It's funny, you and I both have that same thing in common. I remember I tried my hardest to do at sports, and I was never good at sports, but if you can be an idiot, people always think comedy is the hardest thing in the world to do, and I'd be like, you'd be amazed what you can do when you set aside dignity and self-respect. You can do any job in the world, and comedy's that. So, I mean, I grew up with just a normal family here in Florida, and...
What did your dad and mom do for a living?
Real estate. My mom and my dad do real estate pretty much. They just, you know, of course they sold before everything came down. You know what I mean? You got to know where that is. But mostly real estate. My mom was a nurse, and my stepdad's a master carpenter and a woodworker. And you know.
And you told me last night you did several different things before you got into comedy.
Oh my God. I was an emergency medical technician. I was an organ and tissue harvester. I was a United States
Organ
Marine.
and tissue harvester.
Yes.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
The man was an organ tissue harvester. Tell me what you told me that you would never do it, because...
Oh, I couldn't. I mean, you know what? If you're an organ donor, it's one thing. If you're a tissue donor, the thing is, I would go in and I would cut these bodies open, right? Like, I would go do stand-up, and then I get a call, and they'd be like, "Hey, could you get down here? It's a rush." And I'm like, "Why is it a rush?" They're like, "You're right. He's been dead for 4 hours. He's not going to get any deader." So then I would go down and I would cut these people up, and then I would come do stand-up, and I was
Dead
just the
jokes
weirdest.
never work in Sarasota,
They
Claude.
would kill. That's right. So I was an organ tissue harvester. I was an EMT. And by the way, if you're an EMT, that's the greatest sounding job, but the worst job in the world, because emergency medical technician sounds great, right? Like you're a junior superhero, but EMTs can't really do anything at the scene of an accident. They can give you water if you're dehydrated and sugar if you're a diabetic, which I felt limited my ability to help people. Because I'd show up there, and if I got there before the paramedics, I'd be like, "Whoa, sorry about your Levi's and your bones and everything, but in the meantime, here's a Snickers and an Evian. It won't stop the bleeding, but it's really satisfying." So, anyway, yes, I was also in the Marine Corps. Like, you know, you guys heard about that. But my life has been an experience of defining what I'm not, as opposed to finding out exactly what I was, you know? Not gonna be a Marine, not gonna be a molecular biologist, not gonna be an ER. Comedian, it's perfect.
So you turned down all the jobs that actually pay good money.
Yes.
All right. Now, this is what I'd like to get from you and Tom lead off on this. Tom has had several specials. He's had his own television show. Yeah, he had his own. Yes, ma'am. She was shocked. She was shocked, Tom. No, he did have his own television show.
I had a sitcom on NBC 1996 to 1997 called Mr. Rhodes. I had really long hair and I played a school teacher.
Yes.
It was like Dead Poet Society.
Yeah, it was a great show.
Yes.
And they made the focus all about the kids, so I felt like the second banana on my own show.
But, you know...
But it paid a lot of money, and I lived in the Hollywood Hills, and yeah.
With these guys, Tom had a Showtime special just last year, and you've had several specials, but you had a Showtime special last year. Claude is getting ready to have his first Showtime special, and that's coming up this year. And you work in the background in production, editing Comedy Central specials and Showtime specials.
Which just means I'm gonna kill on my special, if you know what I mean.
Because he has creative control. He
Turn up the laugh knob.
That's right. Right. Laugh tracks my ass. You get them old laugh tracks from I Love Lucy. So take us through, Tom, because a lot of people think that it's easier than it is for this all to happen. How do you get a Showtime special, and then what's that process that you go through, and then jump in there wherever you want?
Go ahead.
I did the Montreal Comedy Festival a few years ago, and this guy saw me, and he was a producer, and he produces comedy specials, and then he came to see me again in LA like a year later, and I killed it again, and he thought, I want to do an hour special with this guy. So they got this beautiful theater in Boulder, Colorado, the Boulder Theater, and you know, they set it up like big crane shots and cameras everywhere, and I filmed that, and then they sell that to a network like Showtime.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Tom Rhodes, everybody. You guys should check out his special on Netflix, right? It's
Yeah,
fantastic.
my special's airing on Netflix now.
And the exact same thing happened to me without any of that stuff. So I actually, because I edit the specials, I actually one of the guys that produces the specials came to a comedy club, and I just happened to be on, and he was like, he's always known me as a technician, and he was like, Jesus Christ, you're pretty funny. Like, and then he called me and he's like, look, you're gonna be the technical producer on these 10 shows that we're shooting in San Antonio, and one of them is gonna be yours. So that was kind of like, you know, a behind the scenes thing, and somebody finally saw that. And the funny thing for me was, I was like ready to kind of, I just had my baby, so I'm like over it, you know what I mean? I'm like, I just want to stand with my baby. You know, like, you know, believe me, my wife wasn't psyched when I was like, look, I have an 8-month-old girl, and I'm gonna like go on the road for 2 months. Love you, see you later, with Tom Rhodes, you know? And so she wasn't psyched. But at that point, I was just more happy with being in my family, and like, you know, and at that point, you know, that's exactly like the old story. I was just kind of like, I'm kind of done with this. And they're like, no, you're going to do a comedy special. And I was like, oh boy. So now I got to go out on the road and work this stuff out. But
Here's a question on
yeah.
that. I understood at one point in time with those specials that they would give the artists, they would allot you a certain amount of money to produce the special, and you controlled that. Is that the same way they do it?
That's not the way I did it, no.
I was going to say they don't really, yeah.
No, they give you like I've done 2 Comedy Central half-hour specials, and you get $15,000. But when your manager takes 10% and the government takes it, you get about 7.5. And it took years to develop that material. And then when I did this Showtime hour thing, they gave me like $5,000 up front. And then when they sold it to the network, and then they sold it again to Netflix, a 3-year deal, and it plays on Netflix all over the world, Australia, New Zealand, Scandinavia, England. I get cool messages from people, and that's when you make
residual
money on the back end, as they call it.
Yeah, that's where they're giving it to you too, in the back end. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's, I mean, ironically, you know, the funny thing is, I'm kind of a tech person.
If you're gonna get fucked, you may as well see it in the back. That's a callback from the show that the podcast and the listener wouldn't understand. It's a private moment.
But you can do it yourself now if you have the technical ability. I mean, that's kind of the ironic thing about these specials with YouTube.
Well, and that's a great, and Claude actually is a really good friend of mine. We have great conversations about things. Claude actually has hipped me to something. He said the most brilliant thing. He said, the future is a 1-minute special on YouTube. And Claude just started this channel where he's got all these comedians and it's little comedy bits. And I have a channel on YouTube also, and I'm starting to take my friend's advice and put little just jokes instead of like a long setup there, because people are like, who's got time to watch like the guy's half-hour special from fucking 3 years ago, or
I want to see that
15-minute thing.
joke, yeah.
And with it's a good way to penetrate people with laughter.
I like the way you said that. Hey,
One great thing. And now I was just told recently, along that same lines, that that most of that type of product is going in the future, in the near future, is all going to be viewed on your personal device.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing I was going to say is they can show commercials, and so
you know what they tell me?
That's the great thing about technology now. Like I have a podcast. It's called Tom Rhodes Radio, and then we're talking about these things. The great thing about technology now is you can be your own movie mogul. You can make your own videos and your own films and your own podcasts and make money without having show business people in suits fucking it up in LA.
You guys can do it right from here. I mean, just think about just to give you an example, 80% of all web traffic is YouTube. I know you guys have seen YouTube. Everybody's seen it on their phone or whatever. So give you a quick example. Gangnam Style made $8 million just off YouTube ad revenue in 2 months. Do you know what I mean? And that goes right from somebody uploading it on their
Start
computer.
making funny videos and dance all over town, you guys.
That's right. We'll just do it together.
Sarasota style.
Yeah.
We're doing the shuffleboard in the daytime.
Walker.
We're going to a comedy show at night, Sarasota style.
And you know what somebody had just told me was on that short thing was they go, they're going to be watched on the mobile device. They should be short enough that you can watch them at a red light. Literally, that's what they're telling. You watch them at a red light.
It's great.
Yeah, you guys check it out. Check it out. Go to youtube.com/standupbits. That's our thing, and we have 250 comics on there. You guys can check it out on any device, PC, Mac, platform, iPad, iPhone, Android, whatever. But that's the future. Getting your material that you want when you want it.
These guys are in the cutting edge part of what's happening new. Or do you have any questions? Anything at all? Nothing.
You guys are like, can we get out of here right now?
That's what I experienced with these people a half hour ago. I don't know if you saw that.
Can we leave? What?
What's that?
Bits.
Stand-up Dicks is a different site altogether.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a great one too, by the way.
But Google that one first. Google that one first.
She asked if it was Stand-Up Dicks, and I said, no, that's a different website. For those of you in the back, it's called Stand-Up Bits. One word, Stand-Up Bits. Because each joke that we tell up here is a bit. And so it also is a refrain for those of you that remember a haircut and a shave, 2 bits. Same thing.
I can't
Just 2
wait
bits.
to see Stand-Up Dicks.
I know. I'm going to buy that domain if somebody has it already.
You got a question? Yeah.
Tom?
Yeah.
When you play in other countries,
Uh-huh.
do the people there understand your humor? Or do you prepare special material?
No, I mean, I do, like, I have pillars in my show, like the dude with no chin, fucking kills everywhere.
That's universal.
But you lose things when you go to other countries, because some, just like references, things don't work, so you have to drop just a small percentage of material. But what you lose in reference, you gain in observation. Every country loves to hear what you think about it. And you gain like 10 minutes on saying what you think about wherever you're at. So, yeah. The fucking Germans love that joke. Yeah. I did, that's where I did it. That's where I invented it, talking about that there, yeah. Where are you from, lady? You're from Italy. I don't know if you recall that part of my show when I asked if anybody was here from another country. I think I revisited it several times, actually.
Super.
Oh, okay. That's great.
Anything else? Any other questions? Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot.
Hey, thanks, Sarasota. Love playing here. Love Les McCurdy. You guys are wonderful people. Keep supporting this holy temple of the ha-ha.
Yes.
It is the holy temple of the ha-ha. Oh, thanks, guys.